Cheers, gentlemen. Today I'm here to share with you my completed Wargamers Anonymous Challenge for the months of October and November. Yep, we're finished here a month early. And full disclosure, I did start a little earlier too, but a week early versus losing a month, I think that's fair enough here. So, what was the challenge? So the challenge for this month was to finish a whole brigade or a whole division, whatever terminology you want to use. And I must say, mission complete here. So for my convention game that I'm putting on in, well, 1 week on Saturday now. So it's coming right up. Pretty much I got everything finished that I needed to. So I didn't get quite everything that I wanted to finished. Mainly the Praetorian Guard, but we got enough stuff done to really put on a good game. So we'll go over to the table and I'll show you what I've been working on and yeah, what I got done for this challenge. All right, folks, here's everything I've been working on for the past month, and yeah, it took a lot of space. I pretty much took up every table in the house to do this. So not only did I have my work desk, but I had a station on the coffee table while I watched TV, so I could do things while I watched TV, like shields. And then, this table as well. Also, I didn't have any other space to put all this crap onto. So, yeah, I'll kind of take you through what I did here, and we'll start with the Romans. So here we've got the Imperial Romans, and I apologize for the poor light in this part of the house here. But it's a terrible, rainy, windy, cold, dark day. So here we have 133 Roman legionaries completed, divided into 8 units here, 8 cohorts. And with what I'm kind of thinking here is 4 cohorts to a legion, at least how I'm simulating them. Of course, there are more cohorts in the real legions. But I think this is a reasonable, for a wargaming legion, 4 per legion. So yeah, these are a mix of Victrix, Aventine, and Wargames Foundry troops, and I mixed in also not just the Victrix legionaries, but also their auxiliaries, because I wanted a mix of armors, because the Imperial Romans were not as uniform as you might have believed. They actually had a lot of mixed equipment, even in the Imperial glory days. And I'm probably going to be making some videos about how to collect Romans yourself as I kind of continue to work through this project. I got all these legionaries done, but I still have auxiliaries and cavalry to kind of update. So I did want to have a mix of armors. The Victrix Legionary sets only come with the Lorica Segmentata, the kind of classic armor, for the most part. So I wanted some mail, so that's why I mixed in those other brands. What they do have on the Victrix Legionary sets is they have like this figure, if it'll focus in on him. There we go. He's got more of like a Legionary style mail armor, and that's the washing machine in the background there. So I apologize for that. I wish they had more of that figure in the set so you could have more guys. And he's supposed to be like a trumpeter or something, but I did mine as legionaries to mix them in. But I wish they had more with that kind of armor, and with the belt instead of that guy who's an auxiliary. With the belt and the cingulum and the shoulder kind of mail parts versus that guy who, they don't have that. I also, the Aventines date this army a little later to kind of right before Septimius Severus. I mean, this works for Septimius Severus as well, kind of right at the end of the early Imperial period, going into kind of the middle Imperial. And yeah, you can see like those Aventine figures have some features that you don't necessarily associate with the Romans, like these gorgets of mail. Which they've actually found in the archaeology. So like throat protection. So yeah, I think, and I do want to make some more detailed videos on what I would recommend for collecting Imperial Romans. So that is the Legionaries done, 133. We also got done the command base, and oh god, I'm filming this on my tablet, and it's a little heavy for one hand here, so let's try and maybe focus in first, and then we'll bring it in. Okay, well, oh god, alright, here we go. So, yep, this is another command group, so they're going to be in charge of 4 units of Legionaries. Mix of Foundry and Aventine, so 2 Foundry, and then the Aventine is the guy with the spear and the shield. The Foundry guys, you know, they could really work for any period of Roman history, to be honest. The helmet, you know, of course, is that earlier design. This one is a very late, you know, this is a 3rd century, late 2nd century helmet design. But I think it works, and I think, you know, the earlier helmet, this guy's a tribune, an officer. Could be a family heirloom that, you know, his great whatever ancestor wore during the Punic Wars, or maybe, you know, there were antiquarians who kind of favored old practices, so, you know, maybe they have the old style, and then this guy prefers the new style. I like these figures. I think they work well together. Yeah, I do like those 2nd century helmets, though, too. Okay, so moving on, we've got, we got our 8 Numidian auxiliary cavalry here. So, yeah, these guys were used not just, you know, they're famous from the Punic Wars, but the Romans recruited Numidian and Moorish cavalry. Moorish, they're technically, you know, for this period, Moorish. The Morai, they recruited these until the end of the Empire, the 5th century. And, you know, they do, so what I did is I kind of gave some of them Imperial Roman features to, you know, the shields and the helmets to show. You know, some of them might have picked them up from other units, and then others are kind of fighting in the more traditional style. I did them in a circle to, you know, because one of the ways they would fight is basically riding around in a circle, and then, you know, the guy at the lead of the circle throws the javelin, and then you kind of keep a constant stream of javelins up by riding in a circle like this on one position. One thing that really bugs me, especially if you look at like the Numidians on the Warlord Games website, is the zebra hide shields. Alright, so people, if you're doing Numidians, you gotta hear this. Numidians are from Algeria, modern day Morocco. Yeah, there aren't any zebras in Algeria or Morocco, okay? Zebras come from like thousands of miles to the south and eastern part of Africa. They are not in North Africa, okay? They don't have zebra hide shields. So the first time I recorded this video, I had a huge rant on this. I'm just not going to do it. But again, these guys are from like modern day Morocco, Algeria. They did not have zebra hide shields or any other kind of exotic stuff going on. And Warlord Games, like what they're painted, the way they're painted on that website are basically fantasy miniatures. But these are from Victrix. I kept the Roman influence guys on 2 bases here, so the back guys could be used for Punic Wars, and I just wouldn't use the front ones. And I still got, you know, 4 more of these to do in the set. Okay, so here we got the Victrix Syrian Archers, newly released. I bought 2 packs of these, so I got like a lot more to do. But just 1 unit of skirmishing archers will be fine for this project, or for this game. And I plan on doing, you know, the full 50 archers. The Romans did not have a lot of archers, like in Roman Britain, for example. I think only like 2% of troops were archers. So they shouldn't really be a large component in any Roman army, especially not one in Western Europe. In the East, it may have been different, especially considering the enemies they fought over there. And again, apologies for the washing machine over there. And yeah, that's another one of the Romans in that more legionary mail. I just wish Victrix had included more of those bodies on the sprues there. Alright, so that's the Romans that we did. So, Yeah, I think that should count as one brigade easily. But here we go over to the second block. Here we've got, so that figure count over there in total was 8 archers, 8 cavalry, 3 command, and 133 legionaries. Here we have got 72 Germanic barbarians, and then the command base. So these will form like the nucleus of my future Germanic projects. I've got like 24 cavalry to do for the Germans. I'm really excited. Wargames Atlantic is coming out with Franks and Goths. I think those will, add to the ranks well. These are primarily Victrix Germans, but they're also Wargames Foundry Germans mixed in, and also, some figures from the Saxon sprue, the Victrix Saxon sprue, with German heads and equipment. A guy in a tunic and paint trousers. You just stick a shield and head on him, and he works for a pretty wide range of history. So we got 72 plus 3 command, freshly painted Germans. And then back here, we've got the slingers. So these are from Footsore Miniatures. They're Irish slingers. I think they work great as generic barbarians, to be honest. I think they could really work well in this ancient period all the way up to probably like the 15th century. They're just really nice, generic, kind of barbarous peasants, Yeah, I like these figures a lot. So yeah, that's kind of our missile troops. I think missile troops tend to be underrepresented in a lot of Wargames rules. Like if you read about Caesar's campaigns in Britain, the slingers are, seem to play a major role. But I think in a lot of Wargames rules, they're underrepresented. Okay, so that's all the stuff that was freshly painted there. 13 slingers there. I think they accidentally gave me an extra one. All these troops, I didn't count these, but these were all rebased and in some cases highlights added. But I did already paint this block of more generic Celts earlier in the year, so I probably shouldn't count them as part of this challenge, but I did rebase all of them to kind of be in denser, larger units. So yeah, with the Barbarian, as this project goes forward, this is, in addition to what I've already painted, this will be good for the convention, and of course you'll see tons of pictures of that stuff, because I think it'll be pretty cool. For the Romans, I gotta redo a lot of my auxiliaries, bulk up their units. I have 3 units of 10 auxiliaries right now. The goal is to have 4 units of about 18 auxiliaries, so similar to the Romans. The Praetorians, I think we're going to have is 4 units total of 18, again, Praetorians. So still a lot of work to be done there. So I have, and also with the cavalry, I want to add 2 units of 6 cavalry. So that's usually what I do for my heavy cavalry, 6, and then 4 for the light cavalry. Just because cavalry take up so much space, and they are also expensive. For the Barbarians, what we're going to be doing is kind of breaking off these forces a little bit. So for the Britons, I've got all the I've got chariots done. I've got like 4 light cavalry to do. So adding the 4 light cavalry to what I've already done for the Britons should be, acceptable for a British army, to make it more of like a Gallic army. I also have some more naked fanatics and stuff. To make it more of a Gallic army, I'm going to do some cavalry. Although, the Gauls used chariots in their earlier days. Later, they kind of used cavalry. The thing is, like, by the time you get the Romans, the Gallic, they'll work more as allies than, conquest of Gaul kind of stuff. Because there was kind of more Gallicized cavalry in the 1st century AD, like not fully adapted to the Roman ways cavalry, I guess you could say. And there were some revolts and things. So, but yeah, adding some of that, the Victrix Gallic cavalry. For the Germans, the Germans are going to be expanded to a larger extent. So I hope to add more units of warriors. You know, the Wargames Atlantic sets looks pretty promising. I've got 24 German cavalry to do. I also want to do a bunch of light infantry. Like in the to the strongest list, they need to take a required minimum of 5 units of light infantry. So that's kind of what I intend on doing. I'll probably do 6 units. And those light, you know, if you read the accounts too, again, like I feel like the rule sets get really caught up on the barbarians being in Wargames. But if you read about the Germans, they're very agile, very nimble. You know, they used lightweight shields, explicitly mentioned. They were used as Roman allies, as fast-moving troops. So having a lot of light troops in a German army honestly makes a lot of sense. So we'll have a lot of light troops. They also mixed light infantry with cavalry, so we'll have some units of those. I think the Germans are going to be cool, and the Germans are going to work well as an opponent for not only these Romans, but as I do more Romans in the future. You know, by adding and taking away units, you can really cover a large time period. So, for example, yeah, and I really want to do like a Belisarius Byzantine army. These troops will work well as, you know, the Lombards and other people that Belisarius fought in Italy. Vandals, the cavalry. You know, the Vandals were really a cavalry army, but the cavalry will, you know, I'll do a lot of Germanic cavalry. You know, Germans are just so useful for this period. Okay, so I've rambled enough here, so I kind of tell you what's going on in the future for these projects, adding some units. That's kind of our goal, our next goal here. So winter here, I mean, we're actually kind of having a mild October. Heading into November, it's anyone's guess what the weather will be, to be honest. Hopefully, I want to have a lot of stuff that I can prime over my Thanksgiving vacation. The problem is, you know, there is no guarantee what the weather will be like in Thanksgiving. Some years it's 60 degrees, which is kind of more unusual. Other years it is -14 and there's like a massive blizzard. In fact, probably on average the last 4 years, I think we've had a blizzard 3 out of 4 of those, and it's been freezing. Like, I signed up for this Turkey Trot 5K a couple years ago. Yeah, it was -14 with 3 feet of snow. So I decided, you know, the race didn't really go ahead because it was freaking cold. I do want to get these projects done. I really want to get my French and Indian War stuff done as well. I was supposed to get that done over the summer and I just didn't do it. And also my Kickstarter stuff, you know, it arrived at the end of August instead of July, as I was kind of hoping it would. Or I don't know. I don't remember when it arrived, but it arrived like kind of later in the summer, before I could really work on it. So we got to get the French and Indian War stuff done. I've got a small 100 Years War project, but Scots versus British project, which is going to be very small. I would really like to get that done this year as well. Otherwise, yeah, I got a lot of stuff in the back of my head. That's kind of what's on the immediate list. So finishing the Romans, so that would be adding another 8 units to the Roman army. So basically double the infantry here, and then expanding the cavalry and the archers. So this project still has a long way to go. The Barbarians, maybe a little less right now, but still a lot to do as well. And I'm comfortable, you know, using the Celts as kind of reinforcements for the Germans to a certain extent. But anyways, I've taken up enough of your time. I hope you have a good week. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.